another one.
So the last one is, so what are the core things someone new should focus on learning or mastering in order not to feel overwhelmed trying to learn everything at once?
Man, that's a pretty difficult question. Because it varies based upon the person that you're talking to. I would say, well, when I first started along the path, I was quite different than I am now, right? So when I first started, it was all about, hey, I want to get out there and wreck things and be just the world's biggest hacker. And then I transitioned into being more focused on wanting to be more defensive minded. And now, as time playing on both sides of the fence, I realized that my desire is more driven in the research and helping people understand like the latest emerging threats and things like that. For if I was to give recommendations to a person that's first starting out, I would say find again, we provided a roadmap in our last recording, but I think that it's important to do what you're passionate about at that time, because and understand and be kind to yourself. Understand that it is hard and that you may not know the answers to everything, but perseverance is a thing, and start off in a place or with a thing that you're excited about, because if you're excited about it and it's something that you truly are interested in, you'll have the wherewithal to continue through the difficulties of the learning process, which will hopefully help you move a little bit further. So um if I mean I would say learn a little bit about everything. Go and sit down, pick up some books, read some books. If you want to be a SOC, if you want to work in the SOC, or if you want to work defensive, right? Or if you want to do reverse malware engineering or reverse engineering, if you want to understand those type of things, then understand that the things that lie in front of you isn't necessarily the tool sets that you contain, but the ability for you to synthesize from disparate information some version of the of direction or the solution to the problem that you're trying to solve for. And that comes through people that you get to meet. And so I mean, I can't tell you how important it is to just be a good human. Like I don't mean to because that's very non-technical, right? That's not a technical thing, but my solutions came through knowing that a solution existed out there, but not being afraid to ask a question to someone who might know more than me to help me get along the route to get at the problem. But like you got the whole you don't know what you don't know, and then you do know what you don't know, and all of those things. In order to get through those obstacles, I think that's just critical thinking, right? It's I would say learn a little bit of logs, like spend a little bit of time with log analysis, because to really understand logs, then you have to understand, one, where they come from, how they're affecting the architecture that they're coming across, and what they're reporting on. A large part of cybersecurity is not getting wrapped around the axle with the false positives, right? Or the things that appear the forest of the trees or something like that, the noise within the fuzz, right? So being able to determine um not only where this thing is coming from and what it's doing, but whether or not it's a priority for you to focus on. Cyber threat intelligence is another really great place to get familiar with, because that tells you about the people who are doing the things. That's the person aspect of cybersecurity, how they're manipulating the processes, the services, and the individuals in order to get things ahead. Like who is Grizzly Step, and what does that mean, right? Um, so that's a really difficult but a good question. How do you get started? You think about what you're excited in, and you give it a test drive. And like, as far as, like, I think fundamentally, I think we need to understand how endpoints operate. But okay, cool, learn Linux, learn Windows, or learn either or, right? Because there's jobs for people who know both, and there's jobs for people who only know one or the other. um get to understanding, like, what processes within your everyday driver. As a matter of fact, just whatever machine that you use every day, your laptop, go look at what type of warnings, what type of logs that particular machine generates, and then look at, because there's a white paper that exists that will tell you what these things mean, that will then help you get into the space of being a detective and trying to understand these things, which is, that ties into that critical thinking, and that ultimately is kind of what drives us, if that makes sense. I hope
Yeah.
that was helpful.
Yeah, that was great. I think the reason that that question is like hard to answer is because the cybersecurity is so vast in itself, right? Um, like I was saying before I got onto your stream, someone had posted a list of different roles in cybersecurity of like 31 different roles, and I'm sure there's more than that, right?
Hmm.
So answering that is like hard because it's like, all right, is it here? Is it there? Which I'll mention now, like the pre-recorded video that I'm dropping tomorrow is going over the identity and access management engineer role, which is a role in cybersecurity, and what they do, the responsibilities, all of that stuff, to give some additional, like, to kind of focus in on the different roles instead of just the broad term. Because how many times do we see, I want to get into cybersecurity, I want to, it's like, all right, like
What
where,
do
you know?
you
So going to, so I'm gonna schedule the premiere after this stream is over, so you can tune in tomorrow and find out more about a particular role in cybersecurity. Because for me, the way that I see it is like, you have to do a little bit more research than just the umbrella, you know, and then you say, okay, oh, I might be interested in this, start getting some information on it, right? And then if it's like you said, like something that interests you, you go deeper, you take a course, and you start doing stuff, right? And try to figure it out. You're gonna fail, and then you try again. Like, you have to fail forward, right? I have a video about that, failing forward. You have to fail forward.
I love that, failing for it. Yes.
You know, you gotta fail forward, and until, like, you're gonna end up saying, I got it. And then by all the times you failed, it's gonna make you an expert in whatever it is that you're doing. So I would say, just start something, and you're going to find, a lot of times we're just like saying, oh, I don't know where to start, I don't know where to start, I don't know where to start, and we never get started until, like, you just put your feet in the water, and
Waiting for
you're gonna sink, or you're gonna figure out how to swim. All right.
Mm.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.